Hello and welcome back to Cosmic Communications, part two. And this is the crystal tones and sounds of the pink tourmaline crystal. This is all about our magenta codes rising to be healers and to come into balance and to allow the whole process of forgiveness, self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others, coming into our holistic selves, right? Opening up our hearts up, living in integrity and balance. Part one, we had some major reminders of awareness, authenticity, um, rising up, synchronicity, stepping into our magic and our healing abilities through forgiveness and balance, right? So now we're going to just look at the crystal tones and breathe in and breathe out and just be guided. I have some crystal tones on my laptop. I'm not sure how the sound is going to come through. But let's see what happens. And I'm playing the sounds on my laptop. Let's see if it transmits properly. If not, I'm always going to put the crystal links to the different cards so that you can enjoy the tones in your own time. So we start with pink tourmaline. That was the 33rd crystal. It also brought in the energy of the magenta ray, right? The pink tourmaline is a stone of love and a stone of balance. It is also the stone of Ma'at, one of Ma'at's stones. So what I'm going to do in this video, we're also going to look into the sacred, this is chapter 12, or I think it's the seventh gateway. Yeah, gateway number 7, going Dinky of Ma'at from this beautiful book, which every woman should have, Sacred Woman. And the Ma'at Gateway is about sacred relationships. So again, as we tap into the pink tourmaline, as we exit August and go into September, as we exit the Leo season, go into the Virgo season, we are rising. And we are also experiencing the beautiful Lion's Gate or Infinity Gate energy. And this is every year, but I think this year, well, it's 888, 888, as well as we had it on 888, as well as we had it again on 817. And then we will have it again on 826. So we have 888. We have 3 888s this month. And in that energy of 3 has come through again, right? And then that catalytic energy. And it's again, it was crystal number 33. So again, just the power of the 3 number, the power of uh, that catalyst energy. And the whole catalyst energy is the energy that we use to change and transform into something else. Is that fire, right? So that fire energy coming in to change us into rising up to our higher selves, to be more authentic, to create with integrity, and to just trust, to really trust in our own experience in life and trusting in our own medicine, right? The plant medicine, it's all coming through. Just a little recap connecting this video with video number 1. It's all coming through this beautiful energy of the healer, the crown chakra, as well as our heart chakra, right? So combining those energy, again, Ophiuchus, the 13th constellation, this dragon energy is in relation to that. This dragon is called Asclepius. So if you do some research on Asclepius, which I had to do, it brought me to Ophiuchus, or Ophiuchus, the 13th constellation, and all of that healer energy. And it's really stepping into our roles or the archetype of the healer. And what does that really entail? And we have to always have compassion, right? It's hard to be a healer of oneself as well as to help others to come into their healing frequencies without having that heart of compassion. And it's very synchronistic in the Leo energy because Leo, part of the Leo archetype too, is having that lion, that big lion heart to be courageous and brave, but also, to be courageous and brave, all of that is also coming through the actions of how we love ourselves and how we love others. And love takes courage, right? And love takes some bravery, right? So let's look into the crystal tones and frequencies of not just pink tourmaline, but other ones that were calling to me as this 33rd crystal came in to me or came in, and the 33rd crystal message of the healer coming into forgiveness as well as balance, right? So pink tourmaline, we're also gonna look at pink spirit gold. That was coming to me as well. I think it's two of these that have the pink spirit gold. Oh, this is pink spirit gold. This one, yeah, pink spirit gold again, which is bringing in more of that magenta. And again, the magenta ray rising is this combination of many colors, right? It's the red, it's the pink, it's the blue, and it's also the purple, right? We discussed that in the first video. So it's the magenta ray is very multidimensional, and it includes knowing that you are a combination of many things, not just one thing. You're one thing in wholeness. Within that one thing, there are many things within you to discover, right? And yeah, and then we're gonna tap into the whole art of elegancy and mastery, right? So we have some nice messages coming in, and remember, it was the elegant elephants that were whispering to me as these dates and weeks have approached and come in, right? So we have the elephant speaking to us, the elegant elephants, as well as the white lions. Those animal spirits were speaking to me heavily, really, since we went into this Leo and Aquarian energy of August. Okay, so hence why those cards were pulled. All right, so let's start with um the pink tourmaline crystal and those tones. Again, I'll play it and hopefully it comes across. And if it doesn't, at the end of the video in the description sections, you'll have the links and you can play it yourself. Compassion, clearing wounds, and restore. The alchemy message here is if the sound of pink tourmaline bowl whispered its way into your life today, it's reminding you to be gentle and compassionate with yourself as well as others. These clearing vibrations are activating your life purpose with great love. They are helping you free the heart from trauma, pain, resentments, and regrets. The wounds of the past are healing. Your heart is becoming lighter and your energies are being restored. Sighing a sigh of release, you become a vessel to amplify love. What has been heavy on your heart no longer weighs you down. And that's the beautiful message of pink tourmaline. It's that stone that allows us to lighten up, right? And if we bring it in reference to being in the season of Ma'at or being guided by Ma'at, remember to be light as a feather. We have to come into balance, and our heart must be as light as a feather. So we use the pink tourmaline to release. We talked about that in part one, to release any resentments, envies, jealousies that we might be harboring and holding in our heart, and just looking within the depths of our own self to see, Hey, am I being resentful? Am I being envious? Am I being jealous? What are all of those energies and how are you putting those energies out? And really just being honest with yourself. That self-awareness is so, so important. All right. So this pink tourmaline comes in to guide the way through that clearing of our heart, to lighten up our heart so we ascend, right? We continue to ascend and come into our higher selves and our higher nature, which needs a huge heart. It needs a big heart, right? To for the capacity of what we need to step up into, right? So what does this card mean for all of us? The wounds that have limited you are healing through the clearing sound frequencies of the pink tourmaline, and you are entering a state of inner peace. You can look at past experience through the lens of compassion, generating a softness that allows space for forgiveness and the restoration of your love. Again, coming back into our wholeness, right? Again, this is also about, we go through this journey of healing the inner child or allowing the inner child to be. So as we complete that process, really our heart is full and we are able to really embody our greatness, right? And continue to climb our own ladders. The alchemy mantra. So this is when we're going to close our eyes and listen to the sounds of the tone. So as the tone plays, let's just take some deep breaths in and deep breaths out and allow ourselves to connect with the frequency. I will play it again. And it starts to waver down at the end. So I'll read the message and then play the tone again. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Imagine that you are inhaling from your heart center and that your whole torso expands when you exhale. So we want to inhale deeply and exhale, expanding as we inhale, and almost constricting as we exhale. As you let your shoulders roll backward and down, notice how your chest and rib cage expand up, right? Become aware of the resilience that the vibrations of gentleness and compassion create in your heart. Gather the power that now rests in your chest. Breathe in and release the breath completely, speaking the mantra out loud. I am compassionate, and I'll read the tone at the same time. I'll read the I am compassionate. I am healing old wounds and freeing myself from the past. I restore myself, and it feels so good. That's on my cup. Sorry, look good, smell good, feel good. It's synchronicity season. I am creator. I see the bigger picture of my life. I understand that all is in divine order. So I'll repeat that. I am compassion. I am healing old wounds and freeing myself from the past. I restore myself and it feels good. I am creator. I see the bigger picture of my life. I understand that all is in divine order. Okay, that is the message of pink tourmaline, the message of compassion and restoration and clearing out our wounds. And as we clear out our wounds, we really have more understanding and compassion for everybody else because we went through that process ourselves. We understand the light, the dark, the depth, and the shallowness, the surface of ourselves, and that going through that process, we must give ourselves forgiveness and step into self love and self forgiveness. And when we go through that, it's very hard not to extend that to others as you observe them going through their trials, tribulations, challenges, gifts, and really offering to them that forgiveness and balance within you, as compassion, right? So that's how it all comes into play. And in this whole energy of forgiveness, the pink tourmaline, and becoming the healer of our own path, right? You are what you seek, and you are what you're seeking, right? So it's always within you. So if you're seeking love, we must be love. If you're seeking healing, we must become the healer. And one of the pathways of that is definitely through forgiveness and balance, right? Restoration, restoring what was is lacking, putting that back in, coming back into wholeness and fullness, right? This, even if this picture, it's like a full, it almost looks like a lotus flower and just a full lotus. I'm not sure if that is a lotus, but I think it is a lotus. And it's just the fullness of that lotus, right? That lotus is in bloom. The lotus is lotusing, right? Into a beautiful flower, whatever it is. I think it's a lotus. All right, so let us go into the next crystal, card and tone. And this one is Pink Spirit Gold Limonite. And it's a message of transmutation, devotion, and the divine feminine. And again, it's the pink energy, right? And this card came in, this card I was guided to read this card. I don't know what the message is. Um, and it's card number 12. So even with the numbers, 22 is, and we always look at the numbers, right? So 22, 222, master builder or master number 22. So again, as we invent and create with authenticity, we are building our new we are building a new destiny. We're building the life that we want to exist in. We're building communities. We're building new projects. We're building ourselves, right? Or rebuilding ourselves in our lives. Again, that 22 code of being the builder of your own existence. And we've talked about weaving and connecting, right? And putting everything together, creating the path and the life that you really want to live, right? Through being that dream weaver and connecting things together. So now we look at the pink spirit gold and limonite and devotion. Devotion has come through in many different ways. And we're also, are we still under it? Yeah, until the 20th, I think, Gene Key number 29, which it's, I think it's either the gift or the CD is devotion. So a lot of these energies are really the energies for us to focus on during this month of August, the month of ascension, the month of awareness, the month of authenticity, when we really look at who we are as an individual, again, connecting that into the collective. That's the Aquarius and the Leo Aquarius, the individual fitting its authenticity into a collective body, right? And how does that individual serve the collective? And how do we continue to rise and serve the collective as we rise, right? So there's always this, again, there's no man, there's no island by itself, because even if you're an individual, you're still surrounded by this community of people, and that individuality has to be integrated in some way into a community, whether it's a small community or a big community, your family, your friends, your businesses, your country. There is this integration, right? So we can't just be all by ourselves, an individual, and not really care how that who we are is being impacted as well as impacts the wider community, the Aquarian, the collective community, right? All right, so let's get into this card number 12. Again, the pink spirit gold and limonite, and really what message that has for us. And let's listen to the crystal tone. Hopefully, you can hear it. And keep this all in the container of us stepping into the role of the healer, right? Again, can't do it without referencing 2020 and everything that we went to and through, and us elevating from that experience in 2024. How a lot of people, if they didn't get the memo then, are getting the memo now. Hey, I got to figure out how I can heal my body, right? And I doing that with the beautiful kingdom of plants, right? And again, that whole plant kingdom is so connected to our ancestors. So again, when we step into being the healer, we connect with nature and we connect with that plant medicine. And through that plant medicine, we are also connecting with our ancestors. All right. So just to take it into a little deeper realm of life, shamanism and the healer and herbology and plant medicine, really that is where we're going. As well as, because the pink tourmaline is also an indicator, right? So as well as um, that is the feminine nature, the bigger cycle that we're in is also returning to the feminine, right? Coincident, coinky dinky, the pink. Everything is connected. There are no coincidences, right? So as we return to more of the feminine ways, and we're returning and leaving more of those masculine ways, and I would say the toxic masculine. So we're leaving the toxic masculine and the toxic feminine. We're going towards the divine feminine and the divine masculine, right? But we're going more into the pink. And because we're rising up. We're rising up through that magenta, which is somewhat of that pink, but deeper and has that purple, that wisdom and that compassion, right? So we are returning to really the heights of where we were before, right? The wisdom of our ancestors. Okay, so pink spirit gold again, the pink and the gold, right? The higher vision, right? The gold, right? So, and it's about transmutation, devotion, and divine feminine. And yeah, I was losing my train of thought with that. Devotion came up not just as the gene key, devotion comes up through this. Devotion also came out. I think I pulled this on 8-8. And this is what came through for me. And this also is, again, all about committing to a path and devotion. So that devotion energy really wanted to come through in August, reminding us to devote ourselves to something, even if you devote yourself to your own self mastery, which I had to really just come into clarity with this year that you know what, that is my devotion, self mastery, my own process of life and that journey, my journey. I'm devoted to that. I'm devoted also to the crystalline grid, clearly, and to the shamanic path, whatever that is. You know what I mean? And all elements of that. So again, what are you devoted to? And what paths are you on? And what paths are you walking? I'm walking the shamanic path, right? I'm being a crystal kid. And now a crystal dragon. Actually, I pulled some cards on the last 888 on the 17th. And I was able to actually create another idea for another reading, and it's the seven stepping stones. And the first card that I pulled out for my first stepping stone was the crystal dragon. I think I have it right there. Yep, it's the crystal dragon, right? So it showed me like, yeah, like what am I really dedicated to within myself? Crystal dragon, and that's what I've become. So stay tuned for your stepping stones reading that I'll be bringing to you soon. All right, so let's read this message of transmutation. Again, changing. That's what transmutation is all about, that deeper inner change, and really our bodies changing, our organs, our cells, all of that. Our, not our DNA, but at that inner chemical, alchemical change within the body that supports the mental and the physical changes. All right. So, alchemy message here is if you heard the sweet hum from the angelic realm today, you are receiving a high frequency download. These energies of transmutation remind you to look at life from a bird's eye view and not be a victim of your story. And you're empowered. Oh, you have the ability to choose your perspective, and your empowered choices make all the difference. You are the creator, the producer, the writer. I don't know why I'm disappearing. I wasn't disappearing before. I don't know. You are the creator, the producer, the writer. The signal might be going in and out. And the director of your life. You cast all the players, and you are the star of the movie. I love this message. I didn't know that was coming. So it's reminding us, hey, Leo season, August, be the star of your own movie. If you're gonna write a movie, what would you play the background? Realize that we are writing our story. We are playing it out. So what role are you giving yourself in your own rewrite, right? Yeah, so and what does this card mean for all of us? Become devoted to trusting the bigger picture. The harmonics of the divine feminine. Sing a melody, strengthening your intuition, fortifying your blood, bringing nurturing, softness, healthy boundaries, and the desire to create a more uplifting world for all, beginning with yourself. This celestial tone vibrates a transmutation of limiting patterns of behavior and beliefs. It ignites the electric spark of authenticity. And remember, we were talking about 333 being that catalyst, igniting the spark of authenticity. Well, that's more authenticity coming on in. And truth when and authenticity and truth within you. So that we definitely explored all of that in part one. Receive a supercharged sound from the realms of both the ancient wisdoms of the earth and the divine high frequency tones. The sound and floral images activate the feminine in her highest form. And this is what I'm talking about, guys and girls. We're going back to the feminine, but we're going back to the higher feminine, the divine feminine. And again, those magenta codes are rising within us. And the 15th chakra has been coming through to me to tap into that 15th chakra because that allows you to rise in your femininity. And that's for masculines and feminines, but rise within that knowledge and mystery and creativity and balance within ourselves. Hope you can hear that. And as that tone goes, I'm just showing you some just beautiful pink crystals that I have been tapping into this week or this month as August has rolled through. And we're wrapping it up with this beautiful full moon tonight. Happy full moon, everybody. It is 8:28 right now p.m. So the moon is full. And the alchemy mantra here is close your eyes and gently roll them upward. I don't know if I could do this and say it at the same time, but I'm going to try. Imagining you are gazing upon the starry night. Well, it's a full moon, so we could just go outside and do this, right? So I'll just read it out and then go outside and do this. Close your eyes and gently roll them upward, imagining you are gazing upon the starry night sky. Allow yourself to gently squeeze the muscles of your pelvic floor, contracting them, releasing them to create a physical sense of rootedness. We did a lot of that with the last crystal, right? Using that pelvic muscle to give you your own sense of rootedness and connectedness to the earth. With the breath of loving presence, draw the energetic connection from your root up to your heart. Then connect heart to crown. So roots, and again, we were talking about the ancestors and the plant medicine, right? So drawing again the roots, who you are, the root of who you are, drawing that through your pelvic muscle all the way up to your heart, and then letting it come out through your crown, right? So really, and I literally kind of had this visual of this today. It's interesting that this is the breathing. I kind of saw that energy of going all the way down to the depths of who we are and bringing that all of that up and around us in that like the wings or even like the circle of the feathers around you, and then dropping that into you, but then shooting back up out. So that's a kind of just like an image that kind of came to me today. Um, so it says, yes, draw the, sorry, I'll do it without interruption. Close your eyes and gently roll them upward, imagining you are gazing upon the starry night sky. Allow yourself to gently squeeze the muscles of your pelvic floor, contracting, then releasing them to create a physical sense of rootedness with the breath of loving presence. Draw the energetic connection from your root up to your heart, then connect heart to crown. Imagine shooting your breath out the top of your head like a whale spouting. Breathe in the light from 2 feet above your head, allowing the connection back down through your heart to your root, and as you feel and speak the mantra out loud or silently. I am bathed in divine feminine energy. I breathe in the devotional aspect of love, and it circulates within me. I transmute my story, allowing it to serve my highest expression of truth and goodness. Well, that puts it all in a really beautiful nutshell. All right. Cocoon of really where we are and what the pink tourmaline is really speaking to, right? Going into the depths of ourselves, for self-love and forgiveness and balance, bringing that up through our sacral, which is what we create, reminding us to create with love through our heart, rising all of that up through our through our crown chakra, then bringing that back down, creating this beautiful shield or circle around us with that. And breathing in the light, yeah, breathe the light in from 2 feet above you, allowing that connection back down through your heart and to your roots. And then, speaking that, like, I am bathed in this feminine energy. I breathe in the devotional aspect of love and it circulates me. That is really what I was feeling today. And I kind of saw that energy transmission of just going all the way down, coming up, encircling. I said it before I read it. Encircling you in this energy, and that energy that you really are encircled in, and this is where I kind of saw the image, is that energy that you bring up from the depth of you. So where life is like this constant, maybe I need to draw this because it's I can see it. It's like an art piece for me to kind of, I guess, bring forth. But it's like it's like we're continuously going into the depths of ourselves and bringing that up, covering ourselves with that, as those, just as that feather, those feathers are encircling the lion, and then dropping that back into ourselves and then continuing to rise up, and again we come down to rise up and we push up, and this, it's just this whole continuous cycle of life, the infinity sign, of rising and go and shedding and going up and then coming back down. But as we rise up, we're rising up with the depth of ourselves that we are now ready to fly with. All right. So let's listen to this tone again, if you can hear it. All right. And now let's go into number 24. 2024. Listen, I've had these cards out for literally a month. 2024. All right. And I'm also feeling like again, we're going from 24, but we're also wrapping up 2024 almost soon. And maybe just because it's now, I'm now in a 9 energy because I have, my birthday was this month, so where I'm usually synchronistic with the energies, but then my birthday comes and then I move to the next energy, and then the new year comes on different calendars and that energy catches up with me. So I always feel like I have this little advanced window into the energies that are coming because of where my birthday is, right? In that August energy, kind of giving me a little preview to how does the 9 energy feel. And I've been telling everybody around me, "Ooh, I like it." This is feeling good. All right. Like 45. I really do. So um the 9 energy is feeling really good. And that brings me back to, again, just the whole synchronicity of this feeling good and being the creator and the inventor. And 17 years ago when I created Spa Smitten, I said, look good, smell good, feel good. And I didn't say that because I heard it someplace. And I've learned since then that, there's things that just are in the ethers, and whomever is to pick it up, pick it up. And 17 years ago, in my head, I created it. And then years, I would hear one and two other people saying it. And I'm like, where did they get that from? That's mine. And then all of a sudden it was everywhere. But, my graphic designer did this for me as a surprise birthday present. And the Tumblr, and she put the logo at the tagline at the bottom, which was look good, smell good, feel good. And I think about it now, and just the whole expansion of who I became. And Spark Smitten is all about smelling good, right? And the Leo, that outer energy of identity, is about, we want to look, the Leo, the lion, the mane, all that. So it's like, okay, we must look good. We must, look good. but it's so important. And then it's good to smell good on the aromatherapy of it. But that inner feeling of how do I really feel, and how really with my brand, it was a vision, and it's currently still an embodiment. But it also has been my journey of going from just looking good and smelling good to really feeling good, right? At all levels of that. But that's just a little side note. But we are creators, and we're in this energy of, again, the creator and the inventor, and how what we create is really speaking to who we are, and this is one of the things that I created 17 years ago, and I'm very happy, and it continues to speak to me as well as speak to my becoming, right? So just a little side note, because again, this energy was also about being authentic and being that inventor and the creator, right? So, what are we creating and inventing, and how authentic is that to who you really are? So, just remember as you create to allow your authenticity to really guide your creations. All right, that's what I came here to say. All right, happy full moon in Aquarius. All right, so now we're going into number 24 and 2024. Like I said, let's see what resonance or synchronicity, because we're learning how the magenta tone is all about synchronicity. And I love how this card actually brought in more of that magenta tone and the purple, right? Because the Lady Ma'at is that pink, as well as that purple, as well as that blue, and that whole crown chakra, right? And the depths of our thinking. So yin and yang, perfect harmony. And let's hear this tone. Hopefully the speakers pick it up. So the alchemy message here is, as this bowl tones its vibration of yin and yang energies, it is helping you remove anything in the way of expression of your perfect harmony. Have feelings of anger or frustration, resentment or blame, judgment or criticism surfaced lately? Have you been doubting, questioning, or distrusting your inner guidance? Do you hesitate to take a step forward? Know that you can clear all emotional burdens and turbulent feelings with dead sea salt and pink spirit gold. This is again synchronistic. Somebody in another group just mentioned today that they were given salt. Now, it wasn't dead sea salt, but they were given salt. And I was telling them how salt was, considered one of the first currencies, as well as gold, because of its protection as well as its preservation characteristics. So just that energy of sea salt coming in, and in the Bahamas we have a lot of sea salt, and it's very, very good. And it's part of Spa Smitten's inventory as well. I make my scrubs with sea salt. What does this card mean for you? DeadSeaSalt holds the energy of Christ consciousness, a masculine expression of God, while the pink spirit gold holds the energy of Mary Magdalene. This is the second reference of the day of this Mary Magdalene energy that's come in, and this masculine and feminine energy. So again, the feminine and Mary Magdalene Day is July 22nd, right? That kicks off the whole Leo energy. So look how connected all of this is. July 22nd is Mary Magdalene Day. And it's all about that feminine, divine feminine energy, right? A feminine expression of God and the devotional aspects of love. The figurines on the card, designed by Mary Cloud Lalique, exemplify these energies. Together, these two alchemy elements create a perfect balance of male and female. And I said I love how this card brings in the purple, and it has the pink, and how that magenta code really is is that balance of many things within us, but it comes forth as this beautiful frequency, this beautiful, beautiful magenta. But it's not just one thing, it's the combined frequencies of your masculine and your feminine. Uh, Together, these two alchemy elements create a perfect balance of the male and the female, giving and receiving, yin and yang. The combination releases and clears worry, anxiousness, regret, remorse, strife, and stress. And that's what I was speaking to in terms of as we rise and we are um, we're not just moving, we're not just rising with the feminine, we're rising with the masculine. It's not just the toxic masculine that we're releasing, we're also releasing the toxic feminine. So we go through all of this clearing, and again, the transmutation, which the other message, the other card talked about, is this deep transmutation of our heart space, clearing out again regret. It talks about resentment and worry, right? Again, anxiousness, remorse, strife, stress. So again, we're clearing out. Remember, the pink tourmaline is all about lightening up our hearts to come into balance, right? Being as light as a feather for us to rise on up, right? So, and it's coming into the balance of yourself and your wholeness, right? So, healing, it means balance, it means wholeness. It's the same thing, right? The bowl resonates and the adrenaline glands stabilizing the production. The bowl resonates at the adrenaline glands stabilizing the production of stress hormones and taming the fight or flight response. The calming, comfort harmonics bring stability and balance. Beautiful, beautiful synchronicity. Again, I don't read these messages before I bring them forth. It really is just me kind of feeling out the energy and saying, yeah, I think this card is gonna resonate and support the message. And I really don't find out if it does or it doesn't until the moment of the reading. But I sit with the cards, meaning I just have them displayed around me for the journey of the message, and I don't actually go into the book to read the message until the delivery. So it's always a pleasant surprise and synchronicity when I'm reading these things and they are so supportive of the overall message and the crystal message that I've already put out. Um, so the alchemy mantra here is close your eyes, and I'll let the tone play. Hopefully you can hear it. Says to close your eyes and breathe deeply in your lower abdomen. Draw the breath in from 2 feet below you and allow it to flow with ease through your central channel. Exhale out the crown of your head, then inhale the breath of lightened presence down through your body before exhaling out through your feet. Feel the vibrations of serene serenity, tranquility, and calmness. Allow them to permeate your being. Feel them anchoring while you breathe deeply, speaking the mantra out loud or silently. I release and clear limiting thoughts and beliefs. I embody the essence of yin and yang, the perfect balance of the feminine and the masculine. I resonate the sound of universal harmony. That's a beautiful message. And today, as I was right before, I think right before I started recording, it was between 2 and 3 o'clock. I know this, and it was just, it felt so calm. It was just so silent, and it was just a calmness that I could feel outside, and I I knew that the full moon energy was coming into its fullness between 2 and 3, and I was mistakenly thinking that it was about two, around 2:50 something. And when I looked at the clock, it was like 2:20 something. And then in my mind said, "Oh no, it's not that it's fullness." But then afterwards, I looked and I realized that I think it was 2:25. It was around that time, and that's when the moon came into its fullness, and there was this calmness that I just felt and picked up, and I could just feel this calmness of the earth, and it got my attention. So and it just reading this message just now reminded me of that moment, and I'm now connecting that, yeah, it that was the full moon of Aquarius, and it was very calm, and it was very quiet, and it was very gentle. No, I'm just saying. This is how things work out. And something else I wanted to bring in before I read, well, it's two more cards. That again, where this whole thing is this whole beautiful dragon of Asclepius came in and really um, introduced me to who he was, because I had to Google it, and learning about Ophiuchus. I know about the 13 constellation, but just going deeper into it and just um, coming into that healer energy and the shaman energy and the plant medicine. And that's what this energy represents. Um, and so today I went outside before and I said, well, I opened the door and I saw one of the big birds just flying away. And I said, no, I wonder if they left me a feather. And I said, let me walk outside because sometimes, I know something's out there for me. And I just go get it. And I walked and there wasn't a feather, but what was there? A moringa pod. And I said, well, wow, because it's the healer. Right. And this is from the moringa tree. And it also reminded me that my dad asked me to bring some for him, some moringa pods, and I forgot. But the moringa pod was on the grass, and inside this is the moringa seed, and it is such a healing energy, right? So again, this whole plant medicine and connecting with the plants and connecting with nature for the healing is such an important message. So I just wanted to bring that forth too. Um, the moringa seed is part of the healing remedy and the healers, right? So um, so now let's get back into the crystal tones. And now we're at number 46, right? And this is a beautiful card. Again, it carried the magenta tone. So I said, hey, let's pull it and see. And this message is number 48, right? Oh, sorry, number 46, 10, and it's the journey of the soul. So again, this infinite journey of when we get to 10, we're always starting over again with spirit, the one with the zero, right? So it's about elegance. And I was talking about the elegant elephants. So that elegance came back again. And mastery and totality. And really, that's where we're at. That's where we're at collectively and individually, stepping more into our self mastery, learning how to be more elegant in our nature, right? With that authenticity and integrity, right? All and gentleness, all and beauty, all of that is elegance. And then totality, just seeing the total picture, being clear, right, about what's happening. So again, that awareness and completion, right? Again, the energy of the nine. So let's read the message as well as hear the tone. So all of this coming in as we are being asked to step into being the healer and to come into more balance for ourselves as well as others and our sacred relationships with each other. Just so I can get started. Oh, this is a big message. So the journey of the soul is a harmonic set. I'll just bring it closer just to make sure y'all can see this one, right? Elegance, mastery, totality. The resonance, and this is, sorry, violet flame, Neptune gold, Saint Germain, rose quartz, aqua aura quartz, silver, and pink spirit gold. And it's not synchronistic that we have traveled down those journeys. The violet flame, the amethyst, that comes up a lot with us, the Neptune's gold, right? Saint Germain again, the violet flame and the amethyst, the rose quartz. Well, we can't do much without love, right? The rose quartz, the aqua aura quartz, um, the silver and the pink spirit gold. And again, our horror line, right? The silver, the moon, and the gold, the sun, right? So coming into our totality and completeness. The resonance of the journey of the soul alchemy set is illuminated by the exquisite and elevated harmonics of the alchemies of the violet flame and Saint Germain bowls. Together, they create a true grounding, centering, and accelerating sound healing experience of divine love. That divine love becomes alchemized in the heart, then amplified, received, infused, and embodied into human form. This is the true journey of the soul through guidance of Saint Germain, the master alchemist and transmuter of lower frequency energies into gold. The pure essence of your being, the Saint Germain and violet flame alchemies enhance your understanding of your existence as they bring the deeper mysteries of the universe and your relation to them into greater focus. This set is a profound sonic expression of the elegance, mastery, and totality. It reawakens the importance of nurturing lasting and loyal friendships, uniting male and female energies, and infuses the analytical mind with pure passion, radiant inspiration, and creativity. These unique harmonics bring a message of the true journey of your soul from ignorance to mastery. And I'm getting emotional because this is the story of my life. And just so much of it, I'm having so much resonance on. And if you've been listening to me over the years, you know the violet flame has been one of my major healing tools for myself in my journey. The violet flame invocation, I wrote it out and I used to say it every single day in 2020. So I know the power of the violet flame. I used it. I use it. I mean, I haven't had to use it in a long time, but I've used it and it definitely activated me into my becoming, into my mastery. So it's just amazing. It's just amazing. What does this card mean for you? There is mastery rising in you, a strong sense of totality of all that is and your integral part in the grand scheme of things. Nothing is impossible for you anymore, and your life becomes a flowing expression of elegance, sovereignty, and wholeness. within an aura of unlimited possibilities. You live your life in a way that is surprising and deeply rewarding. You are transforming and transmuting what you may once have thought was impossible to change. Deep and abiding peace is available to you now. It is so, so, so true. So, so true. I feel like I'm reading my own story here, real talk. Um, Alchemy mantra here is close your eyes and breathe in deeply from 2 feet below you, drawing your breath from the earth up through your lower body. And I'm going to play it. Oh, I'm just going to let it play and then I'll read it and then I'll play it and read it again. That was exactly a minute and 44 seconds. So I just felt guided to just let that play, you know? So it says close your eyes and breathe in deeply from 2 feet below you, drawing your breath from the earth through your lower body. So again, this is one taking the breath in from the depth of us under our feet. And that's where the 15th chakra is, below us, under our feet, under our soul star chakra, or star chakra, sorry. Um, and your presence in your limit. Close your eyes and breathe in deeply from 2 feet below you, drawing your breath from the earth up through your lower body. Land your presence in your pelvis. Take a moment to gently contract your pelvic floor muscles and release them. This activates a feeling of rootedness in your body. I just really want to connect there, that connection between your sacral and your root, or even your sacral and your um, transcendent chakras. Or I think they also call them the subterranean chakras, the ones below our feet, right? And really creating from the depths of who we are. That's what I want everybody to really connect into, because that's really where we're going. We're going to the depths of who we are, and then we're connecting that to the sacral and feeling safe to do that and bringing up. So that's the new, is that depth of the roots, beyond the roots, right? And feeling safe to now create with that identity, right? So imagine your breath flowing freely from the earth 2 feet below you, up the central channel of your body. Exhaling your breath out through your crown, through the crown of your head, and allow that light to be infused with every cell of your body. Then inhale these long breaths of light and exhale heaviness. So inhale the light, exhale the heaviness and tension. Notice how present and alive you feel. Continue to imagine breathing in light from 2 feet above your head and exhaling any doubt or concerns down and out to the point 2 feet below you, your legacy chakra. Feel the vibrations with your breath flowing in this beautiful connection of heaven and earth. Speak the mantra out loud and silently. I transform and transmute anything and everything that is not in the of highest light and love. I know I am traveling with mastery on this pure path soul. And remember that we have to devote ourselves to something. So what are you really devoted to? As I grow, shift, and elevate my consciousness, there is an emanation of divine flow, trust, grace, and elegance. I have stepped into the totality of my soul's journey, and my true essence has been awakened by the violet flame of healing. Ashe at some Afro. Okay, so this is just one more message coming through, and this is just really going to crown it all. And this is coming from the Medicine Woman deck. But those are the tones. I'll just let this 46 tone play as I prepare to read this last message, and we'll end it with this. So the message of 8 of Arrows. It says commitment to a way. So again, this message of devotion. And this book, some of the cards, they begin with a prayer. So I want to read this prayer. It says, my tools are now within. I am master of my mind, and I give my knowledge that others may master their lives. I live by the creed of words within me. No battle inside or conflict outside will frighten me. I can do what I believe I must. I give what it takes to restore, to renew. I have been called and I answer. From perfect peace, I take my call. My will and the will of the Father are one. In Mother, the world of matter, my gifts are heard. The lesson here is you have advanced to a new perspective. From here, you will empower others by offering a means to their greater well-being. You will give gifts that continue to give of their own nature. Now that you have a new philosophy, religion, or lifestyle, each of these describes a large body of words you live by. You must realize that it will restrict you in certain ways. Initially, you will be blind to these restrictions, but in time, you will notice at that point, you must realize the power of restriction. Commitment can be freedom. You must realize that there is no way to be completely unrestricted and still be living. Each belief system fences you in and at the same time forces you to do things you could not do otherwise. For instance, the concept of marriage may restrict you to experiencing sexuality with just one partner, but it frees you to go with that partner to peaks of intimacy which would not be available to you otherwise. The concept of being a vegetarian may restrict you from eating meat, but free you to experience the increased physical energy and heightened consciousness you can know only through a body purified by live, whole foods. The concept of dressing for success may limit your creative expression, but can land you a high paying job. So you can see the value of knowing the power of restriction. You are not searching now in this area of your life, but have a workable philosophy in which your commitment will free your spirit to reach previously unreachable goals. So, guys, continue, and girls, empresses and emperors, because we are rising kings and queens as we rise to previously unreachable points within our own journeys. May we continue to come into more and more balance, more and more self forgiveness and forgiveness of others, and more totality and completion, and more wholeness and healing. This is Magenta Rising Message. This is the 33rd message. The next time you see me, I will be bringing forth the 34th crystal, and it will be coming through the beautiful energy of the Virgo energy, which is the alchemist and the healer. So I'm super excited to see where these crystals and these crystal messages are taking us to and rising us to. All right. Thank you so much for once again joining me. My name is Akita Akari Aurora. And until I bring out the next message, have a beautiful and lovely, lovely day. Mwah. I love you all. Keep rising.